Good morning again. So, I've got a not so great article to bring you. Something that I was telling you guys specifically about a week or two ago. And, well, it's already coming to fruition. But before we get to that, I've got a little bit of office work to do. So, at the very end of the last video I did, I had mentioned something that we intend to do like today, tomorrow, sometime over the next couple of days, I guess. I don't have a time or a day locked in yet. Once I get that, I will make a video. And what we are going to do is we are going to host a movie day slash night, afternoon, whatever the heck it's going to be. And we're just all going to hang out in the other Watchman News workroom. Not this one, but in the other one. I'll make sure you guys all have a link. Guests will be welcome. And we're just going to hang out and watch a movie. So the movie that I have for us is the 1985 classic Spies Like Us with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. Fire Marshal Bill has never seen said movie, and it's kind of like Stripes. It's one of those movies or Airplane. You got to at least see it once to experience it. Yeah, Spies Like Us was definitely for its time was incredibly funny. It's one of those that you look at and you keep seeing things that you didn't see before. Like just recently, I noticed there's a part in the movie, and I'm not really giving a spoiler away, where they get caught by the Russian border patrol. And I never noticed this before, but the winter clothing they have on had like Native American patches and stuff like that. So they're basically dressed in Native American attire on the border of Russia, sneaking into the country. Freaking hilarious. And I never even noticed the Indian stuff, the Native American stuff before I just saw it on the screen the other day. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. So anyway, plan on that. The other bit of homework I need to do, office work, is Kyle McWhinney. Um, Dude, if you see this, email me at the Watchman News at yahoo.com down in the description. Email me from the account that you have your Quest 2 headset registered to. Oh, I'm workrooming out. I don't know what I don't know if I blinked out on you or not. Don't double tap. That turns on pass through. So anyway, Kyle, brother, email me with the account that you have your Quest 2 headset registered to. Email the Watchman News at yahoo.com. And then that way I can put your email in to workrooms, and it will send you an invite. And since that's the email that your Quest is registered to, you should be able to just log in like anybody else. So that's the thing I don't get, because I just log in with this account here. I just log in with my Meta account, my Facebook slash Meta slash every damn thing else related to Meta account, right? I just log in with that. Now, the camera that is recording me right now logs in via email. Okay, I actually have to do a little trick in order to be able to get the camera in here at the same time that I'm in here, because I'm using one computer as two people. So incognito works, yo. So that's how I do it. I put the recorder that you're recording me with, that's on incognito mode in Chrome. And so that allows me to keep the two browsers completely separate. So it works. It works. So anyway, let's get to the story. That's what you're here for, right? We did all kinds of office work. You guys just went to meat and potatoes, and I respect that. Largest UK energy producer warns of 70% price rise. Now, who was it? Can anybody tell me who it was about a week or two ago that said people were going to be able to expect their energy costs to double again this winter? Seems like somebody was telling you that. I can't remember who. Here we go. I told you it was coming. And it's not going to be limited to the UK, folks. This is global. There is an agenda at hand here, ladies and gentlemen, and it is to price you out of everything that you need so that in order to survive, You're going to have to beg them for your pittance. That's what they're trying to do, if you haven't figured it out. That's the whole, when it comes to energy, that's the whole reason why they want everybody on all electric. Because then that's one thing that they can control that will completely control you and I. That's how they plan to do it. And you're going to see more and more any type of self-sustainable way to do anything. You're going to watch this stuff become outlawed. Many people don't even realize that there is a federal law against gardening. Yes, you can be charged with a federal crime for having a garden. Just because they haven't been doing it doesn't mean the law's not there. Folks, many years ago, I went over this list. It was a blacklist list of all the different things that would get you and I put on lists. And there was over 70 things on that list. I've still got a copy, a link somewhere, I'm sure. There was over 70 things on that list that they could look at to use to determine you as an enemy, as a quote-unquote terrorist. Okay? I'm telling you, when they implement all of this stuff, which seems like they're getting closer and closer to doing so, they are going to have people between such a rock and a hard place. They're not going to have any idea where to turn. People are going to be hungry. They're going to be cold. You know, people can sit there and say all the brave nonsense that they spew. But when you're watching your children and your other loved ones starve, when you're watching them freeze, that gun ain't going to be so important to you anymore. If you have to choose between your family's life and that firearm, what are you going to choose? It's not a game. And that's one of the reasons why I get so frustrated at the prepper channels that do this stuff for profit. Because everything is a game to them. Everything is about getting as many views, as many subscribers, to make as much money as possible. And unfortunately, I honestly think a lot of them are leading people down wrong paths. Hell, you had one of the prepper channels just the other day made a video more or less with the idea, the mindset behind it, that you better do everything you can to get ready now. And just from the title, I think it was Magic Prepper. Just from the title alone, it seemed like he wanted people to go out and run up their credit card debt and everything else to buy prepping supplies. Don't listen to these idiots. I want to say it again. Don't listen to these idiots, because that's all they are, is idiots. They've got one thing in mind, and that's to make money. And they don't give two shits about who they lead down which direction, as long as they're getting the views and they're getting the compensation. That is all that matters to them. They tell you this in roundabout ways. Any of them that say, well, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Patreon, or I wouldn't. You need to take that as a cue. You need to take that as a cue. You need to be honest with yourself. The last person you want to ask their opinion on a vehicle is the used car salesman trying to sell it to you. Bear Independent gets on the other day. I wonder how many different tourniquets that Bear Independent had to order before he found some that were actually cheap enough that he could just break on camera and make look really horrible. Here's what I wished I had the money to do. And I wished I had the money to do it. And if somebody wants to fund it, please go ahead. I would like to go to Amazon and pick out, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 different tourniquets, all no name. None of them North American Rescue, all of them no name. and order them all, have them delivered, and come on camera and show you. Okay, this company here, these are the ones that Bear got. They're junk. Don't get these. These over here, hey, they seem to be fine. They don't seem to be, because I'll tell you what, I've got some generic tourniquets that are awesome. They're awesome. You can't define the difference between them and the North American Rescue, other than they don't, you know what I mean? They look a little bit different, but they're the same model, same style, and they're durable. I've used one of them to practice a lot, and it's not even started to give way. You have to understand, when people come to you and they have a product to sell, they're probably going to do everything in their power to convince you why their product is better than anybody else's. That's why you don't go to them to ask advice. You ask advice from somebody who doesn't have anything to sell you. But I digress. We used to have a society that was known as buyer beware. And that's been so flipped upside down and inside out and everything else. Now it's the buyer expects everybody else to save them from their own stupidity. That's literally what it is today. Don't be stupid. These channels that all they can do is offer you add to cart solutions and all this nonsense. They have always got a product to pimp, something always. Folks, you know, there's a lot of damn things in life I don't like to face that are a hell of a lot worse than realizing that the people that I've built up in my head on a pedestal really isn't the good people that I envisioned them to be. I wish that was my biggest fucking trial, but it's not. And that's why I think all the people that don't have the self-discipline and the self-respect to walk away from that nonsense, whatever, yo, whatever. But you know what's not nonsense? That right there. And none of the bullshit from these prepper channels is going to help you with that right there. I've showed you a cheaper way of heating. I've showed you an incredible way for emergency heating. And probably here before long, I'll be doing a video on maintaining it, or, you know, cleaning it, maintaining it, and putting it back into service. I don't know, folks. I don't know. You know, we have to not want to fail, and we have to do what's required to not fail if we don't want to fail. We're not entitled to success. Shalom.